Hello everyone, it's Ayesha here from God FM, and for all those people who want to know what it's like to be stalked and hacked, I want to give you a video today, and you'll probably see in the background what I go through every day, every second of every minute of every hour of every day. I cannot back up to iCloud. I cannot get into my own iCloud. I cannot change my password for iCloud most of the time. My phone, I have no control of it. My WhatsApp takes up 21.8 gigabytes of space. It's a jamming of the phone storage. Right. So basically, as you're trying to gather evidence because someone's stalking you and hacking you, your phone jams up. I also have a router that is managed by my network provider through my business, God FM. And they have control of the router, and no one else can access it, supposedly. But I can tell you that somebody is able to control this router and switch off the Wi-Fi. I've often found that I come down and the Wi-Fi is not showing up on the router. Because you can switch this off normally from the router, yeah? Okay. And you can also switch it off on the router. The other thing I noticed is the telephone line part of the router keeps going on red or just off. But my Wi-Fi still shows up on the phone. And the other thing I've had is where the Wi-Fi is on the router, but it's not showing up on the phone. But then I've also got two of the same Wi-Fis showing up on the router. The other thing I get is spoofing Wi-Fis, and I've taken screenshots at the end of this video for you to see that I cannot, control my phone because I've got spoofing Wi-Fis. And my phone's automatically connecting. How do I know? Because if I try and connect to them, it says unable to connect. This means my phone has already connected to it, and for some reason it's unable to connect now because I've put the wrong password in to try and connect to it. Because I want to find out what's going on. Because normally it would say incorrect password. But if you got something that says unable to connect, it means it has been connected already. So that means there's about 7 or 8, maybe 10 spoofing Wi-Fis. Now, in your home, normally you've got your own Wi-Fi, and you can't normally go very far without being able to connect to your Wi-Fi, yes? But in my house, I have to really struggle, to go upstairs and connect to my own Wi-Fi. But these spoofing Wi-Fis are like enhanced, and so they're stronger than my own Wi-Fi for my neighbors in my own home. And so this isn't normal because I had an office in town and I couldn't connect to the next door office, Wi-Fi, because there was a wall between, so as you're getting a picture now, this is what happens. And obviously when you've got the police as well, they want you to prove that this is happening. So it's hard to retain evidence because these people are also removing photos from your phone. They're also deleting all your contacts, and they're removing messages and filtering all your messages in and out of your phone, whether it's through WhatsApp or any other app, including your phone for messages. The other thing they do is they swap around messages to WhatsApp so that all your messages go through WhatsApp. And if you've got WhatsApp Business, it'll all go through messages or through WhatsApp or through Zoom. That's another one. So I can't have Zoom on the phone. I have to delete it. But this isn't normal on your own Wi-Fi, because they'd have to have physical access. So, I've actually talked to BT. Now, my ex-husband is a cybersecurity expert at BT. So I've actually spoken to BT about this because, it's not normal. And they said, yes, this is possible from their level. Okay, this is possible from a telephone provider's level where they can log into your router remotely, because there's specific access codes that are given to people of high privilege in security of telephone providers, not just BT, but TalkTalk, Sky, all of them. They will all know the generic passwords that you can get into most routers, right? Okay. And there's specific passwords that they can use working for their organizations when they're in a position of high security, data protection. They're getting into your details. Like, if you have a problem with your router, you can phone your network provider and they can log into your router from their end, can't they? Yeah? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, right. So, why do I bring this up? Because some years ago, I thought, well, this has happened to me before quite a few times, right? And my ex-husband works for BT. So I actually reported this to BT. Because I thought, this shouldn't happen. And I couldn't run my business. I had 4 staff in the office and we all couldn't connect to the internet. We were getting spoof phone calls. We were just having problems changing passwords all the time. And I just sort of thought, there's got to be a connection here. So I reported it to BT because this has been going on for a long time. And obviously I don't believe in coincidences, So I took it to BT and they did a full investigation and they didn't find anything, of course. But the problem went away for a few years after I reported it, and that was in 2018. And my network provider were very kind, very helpful. But now they really won't help me because they've already investigated this. And now it's happening again. So now they think I'm a crackpot. All right. And so they control my router and I pay them for Wi-Fi. And I actually am really struggling to earn a living because I have an estate agent as well. And when you have an estate agent, you have a duty of care to your customers to protect their data. And the people that are invading my home are druggy type people. They're breaking in through windows. I lock my windows. So the other day I found one of my windows unlocked in my lounge. Okay, so this kind of thing shouldn't happen because this is just more evidence for me. But it also means, like, whenever I connect to my internet, I have to have a VPN. I have to keep changing the 192, 168, and it's just ongoing, never ending. And BT told me that no one could do this unless they had access to the router, or there was someone in BT that could do this. BT could do it, they said. Okay. I said, so you can do this? Yeah, we know how to do that. We could if we wanted to. We don't need access to the router because we're BT. But, anyone else, any normal person would need physical access to this router. Okay. So the stuff that's happening, and Raf and I have been working together. Raf Love, you can find him on TikTok. He's a cyber expert. And he's decided to go around and find out what's going on. And he's photographed all of the big aerials, which are ham radios, hacking, and also gamma ray, or not gamma ray, these are like exerting hacking type of sound waves and frequencies to remotely access your smart meters and all this kind of thing. And also ham radio and nodes and all sorts of interesting things. He's done dossiers and all sorts proving all of this. And hey, would you believe it? I've got the same aerials, but they're everywhere. So I took photographs and then I drove from here to the other town. Guess what? Hardly any aerials on the roofs. I thought, well, it's got to be just where I live then. But anyway, it's not normal to have 3 satellite dishes on the front of properties. And I'm in agreement with Raflov. He says that this stuff that's happening shouldn't be possible. But it is. It's happening. And these guys have set up, for all the mobile networks, fake telephone masts in people's houses with aerials on the top. And those are showing up on the network locators as well, on the apps. So I've located that those networks for fake telephone networks for mobile network providers are the same locations as these big aerials. So this means that this is very, very evil and very illegal. because I don't know if you're aware, but if you hack somebody or you stalk someone, you can go to jail for 50 years. And I've got enough evidence to prove that these people are doing it. And I want to just upload my videos to all the public platforms so that you can see what I'm going through. The other thing they do is they spam my phone through a certain app which I use, Media Convert, and on this one they're putting pornographic women rubbing their vaginas, and I've put these photos on just so I can actually show you that this is what I get on my phone. And the other thing they do is on things like X, I get trans people, men with babies, men with, fake vaginas and tits, and all sorts of gross things. And I'm a minister for Jesus Christ. So this is a satanic attack on me, as far as I'm concerned. And this is my evidence, and I'm putting it on the public platforms as this forms my evidence. But also I'm having problems backing anything up to iCloud. I can't use this new iPhone that I bought because someone synchronized it like it's part of a school network or a hacking network that the hackers have control of. And also, if I connect to Bluetooth, my neighbor's phone is automatically connecting to my phone. Again, I have lots of evidence of all of this. And this is terrorism. It means that I can't use my banking. I can't operate. My phone number doesn't work. People cannot ring me. I cannot use my WhatsApp. People cannot reach me on WhatsApp. I cannot phone out on WhatsApp. It says I can, the app's not working. I've taken screenshots just to show you, and I've also done videos, because this will be used as evidence, because I'm going to probably have to wipe this phone. And, I want to show you that this is an iPhone, and this can happen. And I think it's very dangerous that we're going into this digital ID because, for example, with TikTok, if you don't meet the community guidelines, you get your platform switched off or blocked, or they cancel it. And banned is their favorite one. And but this is also information that's going to be synchronized with all police forces who will be wearing cameras, and then they've got all the cameras in their streets. And if you say something that they don't like, then they'll automatically be looking for facial recognition of you. And your phone's taking facial recognition. And with the wrong person, with this information, they can make a profile of you online and go, you're actually a criminal, or you're a pedophile, or whatever. And I think that's kind of what's happened to me. Yeah. They've made out that I'm something that I'm not, so that they can, smear my name and discredit me. In fact, I was looking in the dictionary yesterday about this, and there was a phrase they had. What was it? Dead man's shoes. Dead man's shoes. And that was about claiming someone's inheritance that they haven't died. And that's kind of what's happened to me. Yeah. Someone's claimed my identity and my inheritance and anything that I'm entitled to, but I'm not dead yet, and I'm still here. So I'm still trying to live my life, but someone's taken it already. You know what I mean? Like, they've taken over everything. I don't have Facebook anymore. They've taken over that. I don't have Rumble anymore. They've taken over that. I don't have BitChute anymore. They've taken over that. I'm just really struggling. Okay. WhatsApp, keeps crashing. Telegram, the same. I have to keep changing my username, changing my telephone number, changing my password, resetting the network setting, removing the cache. Same with X. X is the same. TikTok, the worst. In fact, my phone seems to be connecting up to the TikTok server in London, which is a 151 server, which is for the IP address of TikTok. My IP address is normally 192.168.1.1. I'm really good with these sort of things because I've had to become this way so I can try and protect myself from being hacked. And I can tell you that my phone's automatically connecting up with a server in London through my investigations. I have also got computers. Even if I connect them directly to the router, someone's in the router through the BIOS. And again, this is professional hacking. And this is the sort of attack that you would expect to happen against a country, or a major bank, or a supermarket. God FM is a small, little business, and it is self-funded by me, normally by my estate agent, and normally I'd be able to operate. But because it's actually a full-time exercise to try and keep them off my device and keep them out my house, because I'm changing locks all the time, and they've also meddled with the electrics and all sorts of other bits and pieces, as well as put dead animals' mucus all over my home, animal guts from when the babies are born from kittens, so I've got little fleas everywhere. You name it, I've had it all, right? I've got someone putting stuff in the water, in the drains. They've been digging up the drains everywhere. And I believe this is all through drains, water, smart meters, earth wire. I've talked about the earth wire, which you can use to electrocute someone in an electric chair. That's the technology for that, okay? But it's also the technology for the drug people to grow their drugs for free, you see? And so this is also the same. But what they like to do is feed in a wire from the neighbor's house and feed it into your supply so they can overexert electricity. And what happens then is plug sockets explode. And this becomes dangerous, right? Because in my old house, my electric box caught fire. And I was lucky to be alive. But also they mess around with the gas supply. And I've had gas leaks so bad, actually, I could have died. I've had fires as well. I had a fire with my kettle. You boil on the cooker. And this thing caught fire. But my fire alarms didn't work, because the fire alarms are connected through the Wi-Fi of the main building, which they've also connected everything through, so they can try and hack me through that Wi-Fi, you see. And this Wi-Fi doesn't normally come as far as where I live for the main building, but now it does. And I can't actually use it, really, if I've tried to, because I can use it. It is free Wi-Fi for the residents here, but I can't actually use it when I want to use it. But it is provided by the gang stalkers as a facility to hack me. And so my fire alarms didn't work. And so this is the other thing. They will synchronize whatever they need to synchronize. This is the level of evil, because they get up with bloodshot eyes and whatever. Now, I've been talking about why is this happening and how can we stop it. I think the only way is to come to the Lord. If you're under attack like me, then it means that God is basically putting you through your test run, and you better get everything right, because you're not going to have any protection if you're sinning. And so, I can only assume that, I've gone really wrong and God is not protecting me. Or this is the final days, and I'm going to be persecuted, and I'm going to be terrorized in my home, and I'm just going to be tortured every day, and I'll never get any justice because the police seem to be part of it, and all the other things. I don't know what to make of it, but basically my life's come to a halt, and I can't operate. And it's got to the point where I'm just going to have to leave, because I can't exist in the digital system anymore. I can't. If we move over to digital, I won't be able to do anything, because I've got stalkers that have got control of all my passwords and my phones. They clone any phone. They clone any SIM card. They break into my home. And they set up spoofing Wi-Fi's all around my house. And this is all about trafficking people, and that's what I am. And this, I suppose, is God's way of showing me the levels of evil that are going on around the world. And that, I can't fight it. And I've just got to basically accept that my life's been destroyed. I cannot get any help from the police, no matter how much evidence I provide them with. And they just want to drag me off to the mental hospital. So I'm actually frightened to call the police and try and get some help. And it's made me so unwell. I haven't eaten for about a week now, any proper food, because I'm just too tired. And also I just don't feel well. And I haven't got an appetite because it's full time. That's all I'm doing every day, trying to keep them off my phones, trying to have some privacy. Things that other people take advantage of, and I don't have that anymore, privacy. But I also have no way of getting justice. Nobody to take this seriously. I've tried Action Fraud, I've tried the terrorism organizations, and according to Rough Love, he's also contacted them and the MI5, but no one wants to look at it. He's taken his report into the police stations. No one will look at it. And I'm one of 30 victims, it's about 32 now, on my WhatsApp group, just for WhatsApp, of other targeted individuals. Then I've got thousands of other victims on TikTok, all under the same attack: hacking, stalking, terrorizing, home invasions. And just for one of these crimes, these people will go away for 50 years. And, I've got to the point where I'm going to have to look at issuing proceedings against the properties that have been set up to hack and stalk and terrorize me. Because I've got the evidence now. And, press charges. But obviously, first of all, I have to go down the civil road now through the High Court, so I can go for financial damages, because this has disrupted my life for 3 years, and I've just not been able to operate. But, and I have all the evidence, so, we'll see how we get on with that. And I'm going to go for big bucks, because as far as I'm concerned, this is inhumane, what they're putting me through, and I've, got the evidence. So obviously you can't normally get justice to go against certain people in the courts, because we've got Mark Steele, he's gone to court, all sorts of people have gone to court, and they've not got any justice. So we'll see what happens with me, but I can only try, hey, because also you should know that they torture my vagina through no-touch torture, and they cook my vagina and my bum, and they cook my head while it's still on, still connected to me. I'm still alive, but it's like dead man's shoes. Like they've taken what that doesn't belong to them, because they want me to die. They've killed off every part of my life. The only thing left for them to take now is my body, and my soul. And basically they've taken everything. They've made sure that I can't sustain myself in any way. So I just want to get this over, put it over, and just so you can get an idea when people say, I don't really believe that this could happen, and you're not really being stalked, you're imagining it and you're crazy. You can have a look at this video. Alrighty then, it's Ayesha from God FM, and if you want to find me, you can find me on Podbean, Spotify, Amazon, Samsung, Chrome, YouTube, Apple, X, Telegram, and also Love Heart Radio, and many other platforms. And you can find me as God FM News, God FM New, and God FM Radio. And you can WhatsApp me +44 777 35 77788. You can email me admin@godfm.org.uk. And remember what I've said, because they've actually got a way of filtering all my emails out and all my emails in, all my communications in and all my communications out. So I've got no way of knowing if anybody's receiving my emails or if I'm getting any emails, when they're sending them. So, and the same with phone calls. So, yeah, I'm just basically, everything is, it's dead man's shoes. Maybe I'll call that this dead man's shoes. And basically there's another one about the dead man's shoes. There's another one that was in the dictionary, which was similar. And it was about the slandering of people. That they can basically slander someone to the point where you've half hanged them. Because they're basically like dead people. If you slander and smear someone's name to the point where they can't function, then this is basically killing off someone. But it's like a half hanging, they called it in the dictionary. I like looking at this. I can't remember what the word was now. And I was like, oh wow, that's kind of what they've done to me. And it's like a public hanging, so that you might as well be dead because you can't operate. You know what I mean? So they've done that as well to most of us. Okay. Have a wonderful day. It's Ayesha from God FM. Take care.